there was one sub that really changed the game, point blank period for Chelsea, and that was João Pedro. And I think I said it when under Rosenior's like first or second game, but I said that he makes the life of the strikers a lot easier. And I think we've seen much better striker play under this manager. And are you seeing the same thing with João Pedro? I mean, this is 5 games, 5 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. I mean, you saw Delap's performance. It was tight. He didn't have too many openings, I'd say. I think he did well in those sort of slim chances to be able to try and keep the ball, have it stick, lay it off. But there's clearly a level above with Joao Pedro. I think he's really just simplified things, right? When I was really getting on his back, I think it was more for trying to do too much in Palmer's absence. But I do think things are just being simplified. He's shooting more, right? He's just playing more like a 9. That second half, it was him and Delap both up top. But he has that clinical finishing in his arsenal. I mean, we've seen it with his weak foot now as well. I really do think it's just continuing to make that role as clear as possible. You are 9. We need you to score goals, especially without Palmer firing like we've seen from him in the past. We do need another guy to pick up that slack. I thought that would be Joao Pedro, and then it wasn't him, but now it's starting to look like it can be him again. So I'd love to see that continue, especially with Palmer back. I feel like they have a very good understanding with each other already. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be very important for us going forward, I think.
Yeah, Mila, do you see a change in João Pedro because of the manager? Or do you think he's just found a good run of form?
I feel like this is always the question when it comes to João Pedro. Is like, has he reached a new heights, or is this another purple patch like we've seen throughout his career? Because it wouldn't be the first time that he's had a good run of games that raises his stock, only to go back to the conversations we were having like 2-3 weeks ago. Um, I think it's just consistency that we need to see from him. If he can get a month of this, a month more of this, just game after game contributions, then I think he has risen up. Might just be playing for Chelsea that does that for you, compared to playing for a Brighton with no aspirations for anything. This is different. I don't know. He definitely looks a lot more comfortable though, since Rosenior's taken over.
Yeah. I also think he looks fresher. I think he's moving a lot better. I think his work off the ball, you're seeing a lot more of that. Again, we saw reports about I think it was a game against Brentford where he asked to get taken out of the lineup, and apparently our former manager did not oblige, played him 80 minutes. Could have been that. It could have just been him carrying an injury, but he did look leggy. He does not look leggy right now. And I just think maybe it is the clarity within his role in the team, but I also think from everything we're seeing with the new manager, he seems like, not to say he has no tactics, but he seems like a man manager. He seems like a very good man manager. The personalities, being able to connect with these guys, I do think that's a big strength of his compared to Maresca, especially. I think it's all relative, but it's hard to really say in terms of like a tactical change because we haven't really had much time on the pitch to train, right? We have games every 3 days. So I think for now, it's really just giving him a simple understanding of expectations. And I think that's where it comes like, hey, like we need you to score goals. We need you to be aggressive. And right now we're seeing a good run of form from him, no doubt. But I think Milo brings up a very good point. It could very well just be a purple patch, and we don't want to see that happening.
Yeah, no, that's my only concern. I think he's playing wicked good, but
yeah,
we saw this at the Club World Cup. Then he dried up for a few months. Now he's got this purple patch. This is exactly what happened to Brighton. That's why he went for the price tag that he went. Is because it's not a consistent deal with him. But what I will say is he's not a player that plays himself into form. I've never seen him that way. I think he just has moments. And for a manager to understand that, not force him to be in lineups and force him to get those moments, that's important. Like the moments kind of have to just come to him. He's never been a player that can, hey, we're going to chuck you out there for 90 and you'll figure it out. I've never seen that with him. I don't think he's one of those players. And I think there's another striker, and we'll talk about it right now, that's kind of going through a similar thing for the first time in his career. But I just don't think that the minutes on the pitch necessarily correlate with him just playing better, if that makes sense. And a guy like Delap being there, where it puts that pressure of him being like fresher and just having some competition where he doesn't have to be in the limelight every single week, that definitely helps too.
Yeah, I just think it's important to get more consistency out of Delap. Like you've said, like the Chelsea setup, they ask a lot of their strikers. So for Delap to get comfortable is an issue, right? I don't think we've really seen the best of him. We have seen good games, performances from him, but I don't really think, especially after this run of form, that there's too much pressure on him right now. I agree. I think I said it before we really saw João Pedro step it up, that having Delap fit would be a good push for him, but I almost think it's not enough now. So I don't know. We'll see. But I do think that if we want to end up comfortably in Champions League spots, he has to play a big part in that.
Yeah. Look, you guys don't have the goals coming from wide areas for that position to dry up. Like, I can almost guarantee you that if the striker position, João Pedro in particular, dries up, like if you're going to rely on Enzo Fernandez to be your goal hunter, like that might work for some time. I don't think it'll work for an extended period of time.
We saw it last year. When it dried up with Jackson and then he got hurt. I mean, we were just begging for goals. Palmer was also out, but yeah, we struggled to find goals. I mean, it's a good point. Outside of Enzo Fernandez appearing and crashing, finding his goal, it's probably going to be a defender on a set piece. Like, I feel like that's more likely than a winger beating someone 1v1, bending one far corner right now.